Okay, so the season is over. We've played our last game. Let's have a look at our season review and our budgets for next year and talk about what we're going to try and do to fix this team. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Going Pro with me, D-Boy Plays. I've just done my voting for the things, and as you can see there, we drew 0-0 with a team in 19th. The 19th place curse, apparently, never goes away. Very, very frustrating. Didn't score in our last 3 games. They'd already been relegated as well. Wow, unbelievable. Fine. Let's talk about the squad first, because that's obviously going to be a big thing that we're going to need to improve. Obviously, we don't know what our budget's going to be yet, but I do want to talk a little bit about what we're going to try and do to improve it. Now, the biggest thing for me is making sure your defence is good. So I definitely want to try and bring in 1, maybe 2 centre-backs, which means we're probably going to let go of likelihood, probably So maybe also, where is he as well? Is he on here? There's Gatti. Gatti's been fine. No real qualms with him. I mean, it's not the best performance from him. Maybe Gatti, maybe in a bit of a shock move, maybe trying to look at a way to move on Butera, purely because we can apparently get between 32 and 37 million for him. Would be definitely beneficial for us trying to improve the squad. So we'll probably look to get rid of maybe one of them and then use one or both of them, I should say, and then try and reinforce at the back, which is a huge shame because Butera looks like he's got great potential. And looking at him as an actual player, he's really good, but maybe he's not someone that's going to help us out with immediate effect, and that is something that we're going to need to look for. Right back, I'm pretty happy with Ryerson. Roeslev seems like an okay rotation. Apparently he's better than him, but Ryerson's impressing me more. Maybe we try and shift on one of them. I don't know. We've only just signed both of them for this season, so maybe that could be something to look forward to. Centre mid, Palumbo I want to hang on to because he looks brilliant. Diambo, this might be our last time we see him. Krejci, by the skin of his teeth, has put in a decent performance this season. Busquets has been good. So maybe we're going to look to bring in another centre mid. Left back, I'm happy with Rico. I think he's done a good job. And to be fair to him, when we've needed him, St. Luce has put in a good performance, but maybe we look to try and shift him as well. Cam-wise, we've got Maldini, we've got Home, we've got Salcedo, we've got Della Morte. Della Morte, obviously, I'd like to hang on to again. I'm purely romanticising over the fact that he's been with us for a while, but maybe it looks like it's time for him to move on. Thiago Home is wanted as well. Who's he currently wanted by? Atletico Madrid. And I imagine they're going to be able to get a bid in because he wants a new contract and we can't afford to pay him what he wants. Annoyingly. Noah Jean Home as well, also wanted by some big clubs, AC Milan most notably. We've got him listed at 29.5. If they come in with a bid for that, we'll have to accept it because we promised him that we would. His last few games have been absolutely dreadful. Obviously, overall, been fantastic for us, but we may be looking for a new striker. And sadly, Fabio Silva has not turned out to be the striker we hoped he would. So they look like there might be a massive overhaul in how the team looks. Definitely in defence, definitely in centre mid, maybe something going forward, but we really do need to find out how much money we're going to get. Let's see if we find out now. We've just had our budgets through. We've been given a transfer budget of 6.41 million. That's not that much, so we're definitely going to have to look to sell a few people. 575,000 a week on wages. What are we currently spending? About that. Where is it? It's in finances, and I'm being stupid. Finances. Yeah, we're already spending 550 of that. So we've got 20. Okay, we've got 25 grand to kind of work with. 27 grand. That, if you're lucky, brings in one player. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to sell a few people to try and improve this team, which is very frustrating because I think we were developing a decent team. But yeah, looks like we're moving a few names on. Now, here's an interesting development. Apparently, we've qualified for the Conference League. I think this is to do with, earlier on I did notice there was a thing to do with the coefficients, and apparently Italy were rumoured to be getting 5 for the Champions League, which I imagine means things have knocked things out of place. Let's just have a little look at the league. Yeah, so 5th place has now got Champions League. 6 and 7 get Europa, and we've got conference. So basically, that last episode when we did a whole panic about trying to beat the teams from 2nd to 5th was a waste of time because we were going to get it anyway. Fine, we've got European football though, that's a massive plus. Here we go, season review. Let's go through all of this, see what's been good, see what's been bad, etc. And yeah, we can crack on with things. So, signings of the season. Apparently Maldini was a fantastic bit of business. Got him in for free. I'll take it. Rico Henry, also decent. Ramos Mingo, Ryerson, happy with them. Gatti, pleased with that. 6.05, not the best, but I will take it. Roeslev, 6.83. Yeah, Fabio Silva, that's the only one I've been most disappointed by, in all honesty. Transfers out. Who did we get rid of? We got rid of Coley, which is, I feel like, was a good decision. Camiliano's gone. Rui, maybe regretting that one because he was a good player for us, and both of those lads have gone as well. How it unfolded. So we've somehow managed to qualify for the Conference League. Not quite sure how that's happened, so pretty pleased with that. If you look at form, yeah, it's kind of, it's really irritating because the ones that we struggle against, this is obviously incredibly obvious to most of you, I imagine, if you've done Italy saves, but is that top 7. That top 7 are the ones that are biggest problem. Obviously, dropping points against teams like Boulogne. Who else did we do? Palermo, that was stupid. Brescia shouldn't have lost that game. But, you know, and Sassuolo really shouldn't have lost that game as well. I can take losing to those top 7. That's not the worst thing. But if we'd won those, I was going to say those 3 losses, and even a lot of the draws really as well. Draws against people like Udinese, Cremonese really shouldn't have been an option for a draw. You know, fine, we got some good draws against AC Milan. Hellas Verona probably should have been a win, but those differences could have got us, you know, probably, well, possibly at this rate, Champions League football, seeing as we've got 5 options. Europa League, very disappointing to get knocked out to Mönchengladbach, but you know what? The league, we were absolutely fantastic in, absolutely dominant in, I would even say, you know, really, really good performance. Match to remember was our 2-1 against Lazio. Yes, when we had an injury to Rico and then St. Louis got sent off. Always helpful. Goal of the season was from Della Morte. Nice to see him contributing. And then a big win against Mainz. Always nice to see those. Finances, nothing massive. Apparently we've had, you know, a bit of broadcast revenue. That would be from Europe. That helped us out a little bit with that. Reputation's pretty much the same. And let's face it, a pretty recognisable lineup. Rizzo still in goal for us. Mingo, Gatti and Cometio making up the back. Henry, Ryerson, Busquets and Palumbo, Maldini home, and Noah Jean home as well up top. Probably a formation, if we can hang on to these players, and if we're unable to improve massively, it will probably be what we play with next season. Obviously, we've already picked out the areas we want to improve. Looking at centre-backs, probably centre-mids as well. Other big ones. We've been given 5 million. Good Lord. What a massive boost to the finances that is. 11 million in the bank, although apparently that makes us rich. Fine, I'm going to do pre-season off cam, go through a bunch of transfers, see who I can bring in, see if we have to make any drastic changes, and yeah, see if we can improve the team for next season. We've got Conference League though, so that's going to be exciting. Not actually played in that competition on this save yet, so that'll be fun. And yeah, I guess we take things from there. Thank you very much for watching though. I hope you've enjoyed that episode. If you have, make sure you give it a like and subscribe to the channel so you can see our 6th season, believe it or not, with Pro Vercelli. Look after yourselves. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao, Bella.